Well, I hope you're all doing well out there. I know I'm doing well after seeing them Pinterest earnings and the stock price go up. I was doing that well that I thought, you know what, let's go for a double upload. I don't think I've ever done a double upload on the channel, but I felt like obviously talking about the stock market was really important, but I also thought the massive gains on Pinterest, how much it went up, deserved a video as well. And I know some of you guys are Pinterest shareholders just like how I am, and it's been a very good day after being a bit of a rough week. And generally I don't think I'll see a 40% jump in a stock I own for a very long time, so I think it deserved a video. And even if you guys aren't invested in Pinterest, hopefully I'm going to throw like a few tips out here from like things that I've seen pre-Pinterest going up, how much it is, and also some like little tips that if you're in the position that I am in right now in Pinterest, which I think I'm up 200% and 260% in both accounts on Pinterest, which is definitely a fair chunk, a lot quicker than what I thought as well. Hopefully some of these tips that I give you today about Pinterest will help you if you get into this position as well. So if you could smash the like button and we'll get stuck into Pinterest. So if you want to know what stocks I'm buying and selling and see some potential gains that we might have on future Pinterest, make sure you join my Patreons group where I talk about where I'm buying and selling stocks, just like I was talking about Pinterest. And if you do want to buy some shares in stocks like Pinterest, then you might want to join Trading 212 or eToro. There is links in the description below. But yeah, Pinterest was up 30%. It has pulled back slightly since the jump after earnings. But yeah, a fantastic day for Pinterest in overall. And the first thing I'm going to do is just go back to a year ago. So a year ago, Q3 2019, horrible. The stock went down quite a lot after their earnings. And it's about a year ago now since I actually started buying shares in the company after the Q3 earnings, and I thought this company has a lot of potential here. So even though I buy stocks for 2 to 5 years and this has certainly performed a lot better than what I thought it would perform, I do, going back to a year ago, we can look that there was a lot of fear in this stock. And even from a year ago, at some points in this company, even though I'm up 200 and 260% right now in the company, when I bought this company a year ago, there was points in when I was in this company and I was down, over 30%. And it just shows you don't buy stocks for the short term period. It's all about the long term period, and get a bull case for why it goes up. And I made a video about this time a year ago saying why Pinterest would go to $40 in 2 years time. Obviously it's completely blown that out of the water, but from that video I think it's a good watch to go back and understand how I got that in place. And obviously you can see how well this stock has performed. It's performed so well, it's nearly one of my biggest positions now because of how much it's gone up. But yeah, I think that it's a great scenario to look in at, when you're down on a position, handling that position, seeing where it's going to go up and having the confidence in the company. So yeah, I think it's a great reflection from a year ago when the stock obviously went down loads in earnings. I started buying, and obviously the kind of bull case that I built up for this company, go check that video out. I think it's a video that's definitely aged very well. Now I'm going to say in the current valuation this company is probably overvalued, but I'm going to talk about where I'm at with the company and where I'm planning on getting out of this company. So if you are looking to get into this company, I would say it might be a little bit too late. When we look at the stock now, it's trading at a P ratio something like 30. I think the market cap's nearly 40 billion. So if you are looking into this company, I would say there is definitely better opportunities out there right now, just looking at the current valuation. So I would just say that before getting totally stuck into the video. But obviously the stock did really well, beat expectations. A lot of it, it's got COVID helping it. Generally the company's performing well, and massive revenue growth. It did forecast 60% revenue growth, which was one of the standout things in the conference call. I am going to say that I potentially think that could be sandbagged, because when I had a look at what it was forecasting, obviously it just did 58% revenue growth, and it's offering 60% for the Q4. Q4 is normally its best time though, because obviously it has Christmas, and also people spending more on advertising during Christmas, and also because it's worked on its shopping platform, its e-commerce site now, that'll also bring more sales in with its Shopify deal. So when I actually worked out the numbers here for the next quarter, and they offered 60% guidance, and I actually worked out what it normally does from Q2 to Q3 and Q3 to Q4, I think the actual revenue side of it might be in the 80% range. So I do believe that even the forecast was good. I actually think they might produce an even better Q4 than what they forecast. So that's something to take into consideration. Now, the actual presentation that they gave wasn't amazing. The best thing, the Pinterest has an amazing management team. That's one of the reasons why I got into the company. The conferences, when you listen to the conference call, I always say it's a big thing, and the management are really good. They give a lot of tips off in the conference call where they see the company going, and the conference call had a lot of really good details in Pinterest. In general, they were kind of a little bit hesitant on where they actually see the company going, because it depends on lockdowns. More lockdowns will lead to more users, for example, and maybe the advertising budget. They also said they don't know how much the election's playing a part in it. They don't know exactly how much advertising will come from the Christmas side of it. They don't know, the sales side of it, how many sales will come up, because one of the big things now is that it's actually looking at coming not just an advertising play and a social media play. It's because of the deal it has with Shopify, and if the deal with Shopify keeps ramping up, it's going to be massive for the company. Now, in the actual earnings report, we actually got no numbers about how well that deal is going with Shopify and the actual shop sales that they have. But if Pinterest, which is very different from like a Facebook or Snapchat, because that's just pure advertising. If Pinterest can actually become an e-commerce platform and an advertising platform, it's going to be absolutely huge for the company. So we didn't get any details in the actual presentation about how it's actually going in the shop side of it and the e-commerce side of it. But there was something said in the conference call from management, which was saying that the actual e-commerce side of the platform is the fastest growing part right now. And they actually don't see it being somewhere on the lines of the advertising platform for another 2 years yet, which kind of suggests that that could have massive potential going forward, and Pinterest being now a social media company as well as an e-commerce company. But we did get some little information, like I say, from the management team in the conference call saying that it is a massive growing part. And obviously when you think about e-commerce and Christmas, and obviously people paying more for adverts at Christmas, it's very hard to predict Q4 exactly, because like I say, we've got so many factors in here. We've got how much is the lockdown going to play, how much is the election playing, Christmas sales, advertising, e-commerce side of it. So it's very hard to pick out what Q4 is going to be for this company. But like I say, from previous growth in 2019, I do feel like they could have potentially sandbagged their numbers a little bit here. And like I say, they're forecasting 60%, but realistically, I do see Pinterest maybe doing 80% revenue growth in Q4, which means that the stock might do really well once again. Now, it is worth saying that one of the big standouts was the international growth in the company, and originally this was the bull case I got into it, is that the international growth will be massive on the company, which it is doing. I also said the revenue per user on the international growth will ramp up, which it is doing, which it still hasn't got to, but obviously you look at the valuation of the company now and you're like, it's got a lot of international growth priced in. We look, the ad per revenue user for international has doubled, which is great, and I do believe that has the potential to get to $1 rather than where it is now, around the 20-cent range. So I still believe there's a lot of upside here. But like I say, I do believe when you look at the share price now and the growth, there is a lot of growth already factored into this company. So that's something to be careful of when we do look in there. So overall, really, when I look at, first of all, the advertising side of Pinterest, well, the advertising side is doing well. The international growth, phenomenal. But the problem is that you see the international growth still has a lot of scale to grow, and it will carry on growing, but justifying the price tag for the international growth, I'm not 100% sure. Obviously, when you compare it to the revenue per ad revenue compared to something like Facebook, it's still dirt cheap, and it has a lot of room to still scale that up. But it's one of those, I'm like looking and thinking the share price has so much of that growth priced in now. The only other thing is the shop side of it. That could be massive. One of the first kind of social media sites that's also an e-commerce play. It's like Facebook's trying to do it, but Instagram has nothing, Snapchat has nothing like that. It could be the first social media company with an e-commerce present because of Shopify and being able to do sales. Another kind of moat really for Pinterest, I guess. And like I say, it's growing quick. We heard it in the conference call, fastest growing part of the company, but it's still not anything scaled. We've not got any concrete numbers in the earnings report. We know that there's room for it to scale, because it could, like the management team said, it's a few years until that develops to where it's somewhere on the lines of the advertising platform of the business, but still that's kind of got it priced in. And I'm looking at the company now and I'm thinking Q4 could be a beat. You know, when we look at it, 6% forecast revenue, realistically, we did 58% last quarter, so only a 2% increase. I mean, last time along in the Christmas period, we saw a 34% jump. So, you know, when we look at a 2% increase from the last quarter because of that natural lockdown growth and everything like that, I think it could be more in the 80% range. So I do think Q4 could be amazing. So I don't want to sell out for Q4 because, like I say, when you factor in some more lockdowns coming in, the shop side of it for e-commerce for Christmas, I think Q4 will still be very good. So I don't want to sell out before Q4. Historically, Q4 is the best quarter for Pinterest, and I think they could do even well this year because of everything that's going on. So I don't want to sell before Q4 because, like I say, I think it could be fantastic for them. But it's hard to predict because there's so much growth priced in at a 30 price to sale ratio. And like I say, there's so much growth priced in for the advertising side of it. It's like the e-commerce play. If this company can become a major e-commerce platform as well as an advertising platform, and that's really hard because we haven't got loads of details on how actually well it is going. So from my point of view now as a shareholder, obviously I'm up quite a bit, and normally around this point I'm looking at maybe selling companies, but I still think Q4 could be a really good quarter for Pinterest, but Q1 is normally the worst quarter for Pinterest. So at the moment where I am with Pinterest is that I'm probably going to hold past Q4 because I think it could be amazing, and maybe we'll get some more details on the shop side of it. If we don't, and Q4 does well, the stock goes up, maybe then towards Q1 I might sell out of this one. But at the moment where I'm with Pinterest, I'm happy to hold. Q4 should be amazing, and then we'll see from Q1 because Q1's normally a weak quarter, and maybe in Q1 we don't have as much, you know, lockdown playing in, the work at home, maybe people going back to work in Q1 as well. So we'll see from there. So overall with Pinterest, like I said, amazing earnings, especially the e-commerce side of it as well. But it's just now getting to the point of how overvalued this company is. I know I'm a shareholder, I'm saying it's overvalued, but like I said, there's just so much potential. So in terms of selling, I'm not right there yet with Pinterest. I am getting quite close. Maybe Q1 will be the time I step away from Pinterest, but Q4 at the moment looks like it could be sandbagged. But overall, a fantastic quarter from Pinterest. I mean, 40% growth, 40% share price in one day is just absolutely insane. So, you know, really good news for you guys if you're a Pinterest shareholder as well. So let me know if you are. And yeah, thought I'd share that one with you anyway, guys. So if you can smash the like button, subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll see you next video.